Erica Durance made her first appearance on Smallville in the episode Crusade. She ended up becoming the female lead of the show. Lois was in a relationship with Clark, and she even got an alter ego of Stiletto at one point. Please, everybody, welcome your favorite Lois Lane, Erica Durance.
Hi, nice to see you here on a Sunday. A little bit more chill today. I like it. I think there's some people way back. Okay, this is good. Hello, everyone. I don't see a lot of people in lineup for questions, which is tricky for me. I don't have any stand-up routine. So somebody's going to have to throw some ideas at me, but we'll start with some questions. Go ahead.
We got plenty.
Hi.
I just wanted to know if you felt nervous about playing Lois, as she had been played so many times. Did you feel that weight, that pressure of playing Lois?
Yes and no. So I've told this story a lot, but when I got the part, it was so last minute, and I think they took a long time trying to find the person they wanted for it. And so I got it on a Friday and I started on a Monday. Oh. And that's a lot of, it's just such a quick turnaround. And so for me, I just relied very, very heavily on the creators, the specific scenes I needed to do, and I kind of put blinders on and said I kind of pretended it wasn't Lois, if that makes sense. So I was like, I'm just doing this guest star for 4 episodes, that's it, this is what's required of me. And then I remember I think it was the very first take we did. And this was the time where I had to walk in the hospital, and Clark was naked, of course, because that's what you want to do day one. You don't. Everybody thinks, ooh, what a fantasy. It's not a fantasy, it's terrifying. And I remember I had to walk down the hall. I had to get out of this elevator, walk down the hall. And I looked down at the slate, and it was like Smallville, and then on it, for some reason this time, they had Lois Lane, and I was like, oh, that's me. Oh my goodness. So I had moments like that. And then I think as it went along, it started to get to me, the enormity of what I was supposed to be doing. And sometimes I get in my head about it. But I think because it was an origin story, that saved me quite a bit. And they did such a great job. Everybody says to me it was their favorite Lois, and I did deeply appreciate that. But I also am keenly aware of the fact that I got to step into a cool character. They gave me wonderful lines. I had a lot of different things that I was able to do, and so I got to run with something pretty special as well.
You were incredible.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Denise from Florida.
Hello, Denise.
My question is, if you could change one thing about the show, whether it's a storyline or a character arc, what would it be?
Specific to me, you mean?
To you, to the show, to anybody's character? Has there ever been one thing that you wish could have been done a little bit differently?
I think that there were moments within the filming of the show where I wanted a level of independence, and I wanted something obviously that doesn't work in the concept of it, which every artist kind of does. A little bit more exploration into their specific character. But if you're not the lead, that's not likely going to happen. They'll give you little snippets, so every time I would get something, I was super grateful for it. But if there could have been, I wanted it to it would have been neat to go off and have a Metropolis. I would have liked that, where you actually get to see Lois and Clark working together and kind of follow that storyline. And there was talks about it, we had meetings about it, it didn't end up working out, but I think I would have really liked that, because I felt like I was just starting to launch off into what I would consider the Lois, and then it was done. Good. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Erica. I've heard you mention a few times that you get anxious, and I was just wondering how your relationship with anxiety has evolved over the show, just as you've gotten older, or if you have any tips to handle it.
Sorry. The relationship, I just need you, I know it's hard, because you're being blasted everywhere, but just
yeah, I was just wondering
anxiety and what?
Yeah, how your relationship with anxiety has evolved, and if you just have any tips with handling it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good question. I think I'm starting to understand that I actually have it, like everybody does. I'm starting to be aware of the different things that are issues for me. And I think when I was in my 20s, it was just, you know, you're going along, you're living your life, and you just, everything's really busy. You don't become super aware of why you do things. And then as you get a little bit older, you're like, I don't really like that I'm doing this. Is this normal? Is it okay? And I became a lot more aware of anxiety after having my children, and the enormity of what it is to have a human that you're raising that depends on you, that needs you, and it freaked me out for a long time. So I'd say it first became actually knowing that I had a relationship with an anxiety that existed, and then I felt very, I was trying to avoid it all the time. And now I feel like we're kind of in a place where we're holding hands, you know, like I'm accepting the fact that there are certain things that I get upset about. And then, of course, cognitively, you know, you can find all sorts of ways of dealing with it. But I think recognizing it and not trying to make it go away, because ironically, that's going to be the worst thing you can do. And accepting that it's not something that makes you bad or anything, it just means that you care about certain things. And then there's also some processes you can go through to kind of train your mind to be calm and that sort of thing. And I was just talking to a couple of friends of mine, and what I found very hopeful is that our brains can learn new patterns. We don't need to be stuck in that thing. So the recognition of a pattern or a story or something that you find, oh gosh, I'm doing this again, doesn't need to be a negative thing. Like, look at it with curiosity and say, oh, hey, I recognize that I'm doing this. Is it true? No, it's not. It's going to be okay. So I think it's a constant process, but I don't push it away as much.
Thank you, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica.
Hi.
First of all, I just wanted to say thank you again for your portrayal as Lois Lane. It helped, you know, inspire me and so many girls probably in this audience right now to become reporters. So you're amazing, amazing. I did want to ask, you know, what you wanted to be your legacy on Smallville, or, you know, for future generations who do watch the show, because there's a lot of little, you know, kids nowadays that are, you know, getting into it because of their families and stuff like that. What you hope they take away? Sorry, I hit you with a hard one.
No, because it's easy for me to go on and on about things and maybe put you guys to sleep. But I would say, and I spoke to it a little bit yesterday, but being okay with the human that you are, being okay being imperfect, develop the relationship with yourself, because that is the closest relationship you're always going to have, right? And you're going to have it forever. And so if you can get to know yourself, and that's what I loved about Lois. I mean, she had all her quirks. She recognized that she did these things. She made mistakes. She was very, very, very human. And she just kept going. She kept going, but this is who I am. This is me. And so if you can kind of have courage and be okay with who you are and accept that. And so I hope that, especially if I'm thinking about little girls watching it, or even young boys watching it too, it's okay, you know, we're all unique and beautifully unique, and we're here for that reason. You know, we exist for a reason, we're put here, made this way, to be exactly ourselves. And if we just do the thing we love, and with that spread love and light, I think that's the whole point.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, Erica. I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Hey. I have a sort of two-parter question, an acting question and a logistics one.
Okay, great.
So, Lois is a very strong character throughout the whole show, but there's an episode where you get Clark's powers for a day and you interact with Toy Man while he's in the jail cell. When you have superpowers as a character, how does that change the way you carry yourself and you kind of hold yourself when you're facing down this big bad guy? And then the logistical part is, in that episode, you're super speeding around a little bit. Do you remember anything about how they actually filmed that? Did you just like stand there and then they say, okay, cut, or do you do something?
Okay, so when I play something where I have superpowers, or when I was Allura, I felt that it changed specifically in my posture, the way I carried myself. There was a lot more assurance and stillness, and I think there was more grace with which I carried myself, and I don't know if it's because I felt this innate sense of power within or whatever, but that usually ended up happening in my physical body, and maybe some confidence too, because you have this knowledge of this thing that you're able to access. So I think that definitely changed the way I saw things and the way I moved. And then when I did the super speeding in and out, yeah, it's much more of a, like they do it kind of in post, right? So you kind of like run it and then they'll like either speed up the footage, or yeah, they'll do a cut and then you're not all of a sudden not there. And I remember more specifically Tom doing that, because he would always super speed into spots and then show up and I'd be like, what are you doing here? But yeah, it was much more of a behind the scenes technique.
So would you see, in those scenes, would you see Tom run in and you know that they're going to speed this up? Or?
Yeah, like he would run in and then they would have one where there was, where he wasn't there and he'd turn and he's not there. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. I was just wondering, okay, so like, I guess where I live it's like nice enough, but I just visited like one of the 7 wonders of the world, and like Mother Nature blew my mind, and I was just wondering if you've ever visited anywhere that's kind of blown your mind. Interesting.
Well, I was in Malta shooting a film, and I really loved it there. I visited some of the old cities around there, and I like most places that have a vast history. So that and Rome. I haven't been anywhere in Asia, so I'd like to go there sometime. And then more closer to home, a girlfriend of mine just did a hike through the Grand Canyon, which was like 15 hours. I want to train to do that because it looked beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi. So my question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate New Jersey?
10. Okay, so the folks that I've met, I would rate 10. Everybody's very friendly. Nobody seems to be pretentious. I'm from Vancouver, BC, and there's a level of pretension that is difficult to swallow. But I was born in Alberta, so not that there's a similar vibe in that sense. Like people are just real, honest, good, true. You see what you get, and nobody's trying to be something they're not.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thanks.
How you doing, Erica? My name is David from Florida, here with my wife, who asked a question earlier. As part of our anniversary gift to one another, we decided to celebrate the fact that Smallville brought us together as a couple and brought us closer together. So we thank you for everything that the cast members have done.
That's a great story.
I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. But one of the questions I had was more geared towards the entire cast earlier, but we didn't get a chance. I just got cut off like 3 people before me.
Oh, shoot.
So
Okay, ask it on every solo panel.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask now. So perhaps this is something that maybe a lot of fans have wondered. Was there any sort of romantic feelings that perhaps developed, or relationships with any of the cast members, yourself or anybody on the cast, off screen that were developed?
Oh, good question. You know what? I don't know everybody's thing. I don't think so. I can only answer for myself, so no, that stuff didn't go on. But I do know that it happens a lot on a lot of sets. But yeah, we were sadly very boring. I wish I had spicy stuff. But I will say this, usually when you do go into those spaces, it kind of, in my mind, ruins the on-screen chemistry anyway. Because it's the mystery of all of those things, and it's the what-ifs of that's never explored that I think keeps that energy there, Anyways, that's my thought.
Thank you.
Hi. My question is there any aspect of your character or storyline that you wish you got to explore that you didn't? Such as, for, like an example, I kind of wish you had more episodes with your father and sister.
Yeah, that one.
That more. Oh. I shouldn't have given it to you.
No, but I really was going to say that. Like, and I spoke to it a bit earlier. The opportunity to go to your own character's past and showcase why she is who she is, or a little bit of that sort of thing. I think all actors are looking to showcase something that has a little more depth, a little bit of trauma. You can kind of exercise some of your own personal demons when you do that. So I think I would have liked that. I really would have loved to have had a scene with Terry Hatcher. That would have been amazing. So, the closest I got was watching the video of her, but to me, growing up watching her show, that would have been really cool.
And was that a scheduling thing that she couldn't be on the show?
I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know, probably. Or she might have been like, I don't know, but I'll give you a video for $500,000 or something. Thank you, good question.
Hi, Erica.
Hello.
My name is Pauline, and I love Lois because she always makes me laugh and makes me happy in my bad times. And my question is, what is the funniest memory from behind the scene that you remember?
What is something from, sorry, there's this weird echo reverberation I don't always catch the last bit of what's being said.
What is the funniest memory from the behind the scene that you remember?
The fondest memories?
Yes.
Gosh, I would say it's a lot of the banter that I had with castmates. It's for me it was part of finding the scene, and so I think that, and I did so many scenes with Tom, so we had that a lot. But in order to kind of find that level that we needed, that sparks the creativity, it was a lot of those pieces. And I said this on a lot of panels as well. I mean, I didn't start on that show, but it certainly was my biggest show. And I had a lot of nerves, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't know. And I felt that Tom specifically, he talks about how much work he did and how tired he was all the time. And I was very keenly aware that it was really kind of him to really, he gave me so much advice, so many little things that he'd be like, this thing's about to happen, you need to look over here, blah, 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 blah. So those little moments for me are like little nuggets of, I look back and I go, that was really cool.
Okay, thank you. Love you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica. My name's Patrick. Did a virtual con when we had the COVID thing, so I got to talk to you, and it's nice to see you in person.
In person, I know.
Yes. So my question is as great of a reporter as Lois Lane is, why is it that Jimmy Olsen was the one that could figure out that Clark was Superman, but Lois Lane was doing the show? It doesn't make sense. How did she miss that? I mean, is it because
it's because of the glasses?
She just looked at Clark? Well, every time I watched Lois Lane, I felt that when she looked at Clark, she just kind of felt that he was inept and all that kind of stuff. So maybe it was just how you viewed Clark in that particular light, and that just kind of put on the blinders for you. So it didn't matter all this unexplainable stuff that happened around you. You just assumed that he was not part of that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I had a lot of those talks to myself out in the air, kind of journaling that out before we were going to the scene. I'm like, she's such an idiot, how could she not tell, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's the charm of it. Obviously, we know the logistical reasons of why she shouldn't know this, right? Because everybody is waiting for her to recognize, and we had to kind of try to pull that and extend it, and randomly too, because looking in hindsight, we had 10 years. We didn't know. We knew maybe sometimes he'd have a season or 2 seasons ahead of us, and then the writers would try to plot that out. But if we're gonna just go character-wise, I think it's because probably she's in some level of deep denial. This person that drives her crazy, pushes all her buttons, makes her incredibly uncomfortable, is the guy. So she's just gonna she's got such an imagination, she created 2 people for herself.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense because, she didn't realize she had feelings for Clark, and she kept being in denial in that regard too. So that kind of tracks with how the characters developed throughout the show. Thank you.
That's a great question, thank you.
Hi, how you doing, Erica? My name is Justin.
Hello.
So I know this has kind of divided a lot of people. When you returned for Crisis on Infinite Earths on CW, Clark gave up his powers to be with his family. Did you, as an actress, when you saw in the script, did you agree with that decision, or are you just like, come on, let's see the Superman?
No, I was fine with it. And I kind of, there's part of me that's like, if that was kind of a ... thing, I was like, I mean, you could probably get him again. Why not? All they'd have to do is take that in there.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a period of time, and then when they're out of the nest, he's like, I want to be super powerful again. Bye Lois, peace out. I'm gonna fly around and save people.
Yeah, definitely. I just remember the internet blowing up and being so excited on that.
Yeah, I think they saw it as a really deep kind of betrayal of who he is and why he couldn't do both of those things.
Okay.
I mean, if we're gonna really think about it, it's kind of the ultimate feminist move how many women give up their careers and the things that they can do, and they sit at home with their kids. And I'm not saying that sit at home with their kids, but they go, no, my kids are first.
Yeah.
And he does it in an ultimate way. I know that Tom liked it.
Yeah, I definitely liked it as well. I think
Yeah.
that there were certain episodes in the series he was so happy without the power, so I was like, you know what, he would have done that.
Yeah, so who knows?
Thank
We'll
you so
see.
much.
Thanks.
Hi. Hi. So throughout the series, everybody got a birthday episode except for Lois, which is just a
I
travesty.
know. I think they forgot. They're like, by the time they got to me, they're like, whatever.
So my question for you is, what is your favorite birthday memory? Whether it's like a birthday that you had or that birthday that you were a part of.
My favorite birthday memories are very basic. It's my mom we didn't have a whole heck of a lot. So, and my mom also believed in not overdoing it all the time with people. So my memories that she would say, okay, I can't do much, but I can make you your favorite meal, and we're gonna just like have this little family thing, and she'd make me cake, and it was always in the shape of some animal or whatever. And I love that too because she's not keen on being a domestic goddess. She's very practical and just is like, okay. So for her to go to that kind of effort, so she would I always had lasagna, green beans, and strawberry shortcake, and I remember that.
Awesome, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Jamie. My question is, if you could be any other character in either the Superman universe or the DC universe, who would you be?
Oh, that's easy, Wonder Woman. I always wanted to be Wonder Woman. I was this close. I had a meeting with the people, and it didn't work out, but I think that if I were to launch into that universe, I would want to have superpowers.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Got the look. Oh, thank you. I think it's the dark hair. Here you go.
Hi, Erica. My name is Eddie from New York. I'm here with my wife.
New York? I like that. Sorry, I really like that accent. Okay, go. Keep talking.
I appreciate that. I'm here with my wife, Sharon, and we came out here today. I just wanted to say, you're, in our eyes, probably the best Lois Lane on TV and movies. So,
you are the best.
Playing an iconic character the way you did you find there was any stigma or typecasting going forward after the show was over and you were doing other roles or trying to get other roles?
No, I just think that the business is very fickle and changeable, and there's very little you can control. And so I don't believe that necessarily did. The only way one would know that if you were somehow in one of those rooms where they're like, she does this so she can't do that. I've kind of become more circumspect when I look back at my career. It's been 25 years now. I feel like things found me when they were meant to. And I know that sounds weird, but things came along, right at a time where I was trying to explore that thing. And so I had that and then Saving Hope, and I really wanted to do something that was very emotionally difficult and had a lot of pressure and required a lot of leadership skills and stuff like that. And so then that came along, and I was able to have my boys. And then now I'm in a world where I want to be at home with my boys because they're never going to be this age again. They're only 7 and 9. And I'm thinking, okay, how do I continue doing a little bit of what I love and put out some good vibes to the world, but also be home all the time? And then Hallmark found me, and I get to do some Hallmark movies, and there was a whole group of people that like that stuff. So I feel like I'm super lucky to be able to do that. And then on top of that, for me, as icing on the cake, is all of a sudden out of nowhere these cons have come across for me, and I like it because I get to connect with you guys. I get to come out and see everyone and work, and let's be honest, you make a little money for your kids, right? But you get to kind of explore yourself in a totally different way and have a little bit of feedback from something that was so long ago. So, yeah.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Erica.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jason. Hi. So on the show, Lois is a huge fan of bands like Def Leppard and Whitesnake. So I was curious what your taste in music is and what kind of artists do you like?
I like all different genres. It depends on my mood. Music is the thing that really opens me up. And so I'm almost always listening to it 24/7, whether I'm on a set or just driving in the car or whatever. My kids and I like to listen to music a lot. Right now they're into One Republic and U2 and Coldplay, and we've kind of branched into some country. So Luke Bryan we're listening to. But when I grew up, of course, I grew up in a very conservative Christian environment. So there was so conservative that secular music was Beethoven. So that's pretty conservative.
Brutal.
And then I got really rebellious in my teens. And what we would do in our small town of 1,500 people is people would just cruise up the one street we had, up and down, in our cars. Around and around and around we go. And we'd all listen to music. And what made me very cool at the time, I thought, was to go onto the campus and play AC/DC out the window. Yeah, AC/DC and Def Leppard.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica.
Hi.
My name is Robert. Out of all the actors on Smallville, whether it be the seasons that you were in 4 through 10, or even before that, which actors do you wish that you had more scenes with or storylines with?
I wish I had one with Margot too, because I know she was there. Margot Kidder was there. That would have been a big deal for me too. I wish I could have worked with Kristen more. We've talked about this a lot. But just given the mechanism of the show, it would kind of make it implode, I think, you know. So we can only see each other in kind of a quasi-friendly but competitive way all the time. So that didn't work out. And John Glover. So I came in season 4. Yeah, you guys know that. And my first scene that I had with him when he was in the prison, he just chilled me right out. I was so nervous all the time, and I thought, here's this consummate actor. And he would give me all sorts of bits of advice, but I would have loved to have worked with him more.
That would be amazing.
And Michael, I guess. But not at the time, because Michael and I did not get along. Well, he didn't know. He was just, it was just Michael. But I was very, very shy, and my process was so different. And at that time, I didn't know that, he has a heart of gold, and his process is to go be really extroverted to make up for the fact that he's worried about all these things. And I didn't know that. I was just in my 20s, and I thought he was super rude. I was just like, can you get over yourself? It's not all about you. And then I realized it's just not even in his radar to be an unkind person. So now I'd like to do a show with him. That would be fun for me.
Thank you.
Revenge.
Hi, I'm Christy. My husband and I were not big on dressing up for Halloween, but one year we dressed up as Lois and Clark, and that was the one and only time that we actually dressed up. My question for you is, do you consider yourself more introverted or extroverted, and do you think that affects you getting roles in the industry?
I consider myself more introverted. I've learned how to be more extroverted. See, here I go introvert. I'm thinking real hard. I don't think that it has affected me. I think that you put out what you can. You have the instrument you have the hit you have. A lot of things you can't control. But I suppose in being introverted, there's a place that I go within myself that's very quiet and peaceful, and I somehow block every single thing else out. And maybe that puts me in a space where there's a level of intensity or focus that I'm able to give to something. But again, I don't think introversion or extroversion is going to make a person get apart or not, unless it's really specific. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica.
Hi.
I'm Vin. I just wanted to ask, since doing the show or while doing the show, was there anything about the character that you found out that surprised you or intrigued you?
Well, I felt that they continue to bring really interesting storylines for me, like little blips that I could do in each episode. I found myself coming to each script, and I was very excited. I thought, okay, what do I get to do this one? Because sometimes it was a rom-com, sometimes it was an action movie for me, sometimes it was, I don't want to say soapy because it sounds like I'm being rude or whatever, but sometimes it was heavily dramatic and heart-wrenching, and she was in the depths of despair. So for me, I think that they did surprise me almost all the time. It was like, okay, what outfit am I wearing? What lycra or leather piece am I doing? And I would always look really excitedly towards what I got to say to Clark. So, she just had so many zingers that I'd forgotten about until somebody comes up to the table and goes, can you put this quote on? And I was like, oh my God, she was so cool. She said all these cool things, so I'm very lucky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
So Talklow Podcast just sent out a story to send in questions for the season 5 episode Fade. And one of my favorite shower scenes happened in that episode. Your Lois isn't. She hears noises, right? So she steps out. She doesn't put a towel on, and she picks up a brush to hit whoever it is, and it's Clark, and he sees all of Lois.
All of her, yes.
So, can you tell me anything about that scene? Because I would like to send in a question for Talkville. And
I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it for everybody. Somebody wants me to have been like.
Well, everybody knows you're not
Never.
naked in this What?
I don't know. Like, do you want like reality of how we actually filmed it or something?
I don't know, like.
Because I barely remember it.
It's just a really funny moment.
I mean, it was very fun. But I can't think of anything that would be like exciting for people. Other than, it was just one more moment where I was embarrassed in front of Clark, right?
Right, well, it was even Steven now. You saw him.
Yeah. Sorry, Jenna and I know each other pretty well, so we're having this like fireside conversation.
But I always liked the shower scenes because there was the first one where you walk into the bathroom.
I do like that they kind of matched it up, right? And they were really good about that on the show. The creators, they were good at finding callback moments where, especially with Lois and Clark, where they could kind of have that touche. Well, now it's my turn, you know. So that was kind of.
So there was three. There's one in Gone, there's the one in Fade, and then there's one in Escape, where you walk in and Chloe's in the bathroom with Clark coming out of the shower.
Oh yeah. But if you ever want to know anything that you don't know already, Johnny knows it.
Do you have anything to say about that one?
Pardon?
The one in Escape. You were wearing the Scottish kilts and.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was the fun one where we stayed at the hotel.
Right.
Right? Yeah. And then there was the Banshee. Am I getting this right?
Yes.
Oh my God! It comes screaming back to me sometimes in these little spurts. Like what I'd say is kind of maybe potentially boring, but I do like how they created a little spot that was different for her every time. So she gets to, now she gets to be a little bit jealous what's happening while they're in the shower together. So they created all sorts of fun moments.
Yes.
Crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. Oh, yeah. Sorry, wrong side. Go.
Okay. Hi, Betty from New Jersey. Only a half hour, so it's a quick commute. My husband.
Oh, good.
Love You on Hallmark, North to Home, one of my favorites. I'm just throwing it out there. My question has to do with, I know you said you and Tom had a lot of banter. I know the one episode with you ruffling his hair, they said on the podcast that was like unplanned. Are there any other moments that were kind of improvised that stayed in the show?
Yeah, I think you guys probably all know this already, but that punch was just an Eric thing. So every time I'd forget a line, I'd hit him usually. And then they saw me doing that and they're like, we should do that more often. I was like, whatever, man, you're like a tree, it doesn't hurt. But I would try to get that point right between right between the shoulder blade, like the shoulder bone and there. You got right in that meaty part, you could kind of nail him sometimes, which was good.
Do you remember any lines that were improvised that stayed in with the banter, or no? I know it's been a long time.
Gosh, I don't remember that. I remember they were really picky about the lines.
Okay.
And especially anything changing Clark's line. I had one line, it was like 6 or 7 words, and I wanted to shift it, but it would shift his answer. And I had to call the EPs in LA and have like a half-hour conversation about it. So they did not let me change much. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Hi, Erica. Thanks for being part of this year. This is great. Do you have a favorite classic that you would remake and star in, if you could?
Pride and Prejudice. Scare me to death. But I love all of the Austen movies that are made. Anything about English history, Irish history. I love all those little mini-series that they have out there. Right now they have The Serpent Queen on Amazon. I don't know if anybody's seen it.
Yes.
Oh my word. Okay, well I've had it on like repeat because I had to do a part where I have an English accent. And so I've been listening to all of those. But I think something like that, I'd really like to do a period piece.
That was a fast answer.
I don't know, sometimes I have one and then poor I don't really have a good answer. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be anxious about that. See, anxiety? I'm thinking, come on Erica, you could have done better.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Erica. Hi. My name is Shanna. So throughout the series with the Clark and Lana relationship, I always felt myself saying, tell her, tell her, tell her. But with the Clark and Lois relationship, I really liked that she found out before he made this decision to ultimately tell her later on in the series. And I was wondering, do you prefer that Lois went kind of behind his back, sort of, to find out the secret, or would you
Totally.
versus him telling her earlier?
Totally. I love that twist on it, and I like that she knew a little bit longer, and that she was. I mean, people could take that and go down a slippery slope of to give someone their privacy, but I think she was trying to help him out, and I think it's her right to figure out what's going on because he was a liar. Yeah. No, I loved it. It was fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey Erica, I'm Mark from New Jersey. It's my first convention with you guys of any kind, so thanks for doing it in my home state. I appreciate it.
Oh, awesome.
So one thing on my mind is just kind of the passage of time and how we grow and develop as a person. When I first saw Smallville, it was during the original run, and I didn't do a rewatch until maybe a couple years ago. So my question is, if you were just starting out in Smallville now, if it was happening now, is there anything you would do
Just a
differently?
second, John Glover. I can't hear the question that's being asked of me.
He's right there. He's right there.
It's okay, John has a great dance move, so I can't be upset
Maybe
with
you
it.
can come answer it, my love. Please do. Everybody will love it.
My name. This woman is so lovable. Yeah, you are. Oh, I love you. Would you like to do that?
What?
I was also with you. Listen, did you know? This was a gift. Now, if you come and give me a gift, I'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug anyway. Just come and take a hug.
Everything's so wonderful. Okay, back to where
So if you were playing Lois today, is there anything you would do differently in your approach to the character based on just how you've grown and developed as a person over time?
No. No, I really wouldn't, because I think the things that even I look back at and maybe cringe about are part of who she is, So I think now I go back and probably try to smooth something out or make her less neurotic or have her breathe better or be more perfect or whatever, but I think it was her weirdness that's okay. So even if I look at it as Erica and go, let's just give her more strength here and more wisdom here, and so yeah, I wouldn't change her.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello, Erica. My name is David.
Hi.
My question for you is, I'm very curious. Are there any actors that have really inspired you throughout your career that made you feel like you wanted to up your game or even devote more into your craft?
There are actors I certainly admired. I like to watch their projects, but I don't know if not to any kind of level of intensity, I suppose. I love Kate Blanchett and Kate Winslet.
Yes.
I really love the Prince.
Yes.
Emma Thompson.
Yes.
And I think what it was is there seemed to be a settledness to their performances that I didn't think I could quite achieve. And they may say, if you ever met them, they may be like, oh, I was nervous the whole time or whatever. But there's just quiet strength that they had that I was looking for. Yeah.
Thank you, Erica.
Hi, Erica. My name is Remy. I have another music question. What was your first concert and best concert you've been to?
Oh my gosh. Well, I grew up in a small town that didn't have a whole lot of money, so I didn't go to a concert until I was in my 20s. So U2 was one of my favorite things I've ever seen, and I went back to see them a few times. And I just saw Coldplay with my kids, so that has a level to me, like it's just, oh my god. But the most recent concert, and I still say might be my favorite to this point, was I just saw Pink with my 7-year-old son. And he walked up and he was like, Mom, I think she's my favorite female artist. And I was like, oh, yay! But it was just really cool because he wasn't sure whether he wanted to go because it was a girl singing. Like he's like, is it gonna all be girls there? Like I was like, doesn't matter, she's an amazing artist. Like, come see this person perform. And by the end of it, he was just starry-eyed, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I love her. I love her.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Erica. My name is Misty. I just want to say it's been fun to watch Erica as an actress, but it's been a joy here too to get to hear behind the scenes and hear Erica as a mom also. And I wanted to know, how do you balance those things with traveling, with all, I mean, you've had stout roles. And so how do you juggle all of that with 2 boys? I have boys.
Well, this is one of the things I want to say, because I think that there's a misrepresentation out there in the world that makes us all feel really badly, male or female, is that you have to be able to do all the things. Something's going to suffer. Something's going to have to take a backseat. You can't be 100% of any of these things. And so for me specifically right now, I had the opportunity and the freedom to pull back on work a bit, because I had to take that back so I could be with my kids. So, but yeah, this whole kind of misnomer that you're supposed to be like the best wife and a really excellent, sexy woman all the time, and feel like, you know, then you're also a businesswoman and you're great with your kids and you're the best friend on the block. Like, you can't do that stuff. So I really wish people would stop posting stuff that makes it look like they do all of it. I don't. I just had to step back.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from New York. I'm here with my husband Andrew. It's my first Smallville convention. He brings me to all kinds of conventions. So first is to plays off of that is that you wanted a superpower and you have a superpower. And that superpower that you've been speaking about, I think people have really been appreciating, is this sense of truth to yourself. And that in that, and that self-acceptance, whether it's holding hands with your anxiety instead of punching it, which isn't going to help, and you can't be 100% of everything at any one time, and how that we're not going to be perfect at everything, and we're going to be really good at some things in the times that's where you listen to that part of yourself and you know where that energy needs to be. So I think that, and the overall, when they're talking about to girls, to boys also, that wisdom and trust in self, and that is a superpower, and that you are passing on and raising your boys to have that as a model, role model.
That's lovely.
The question was, someone spoke about the joy and the laughter that you brought to her, and the question was, behind the scenes, what were some of the funniest things that happened in the behind the scenes?
Oh my goodness. Again, I don't know if I can speak to the specifics, but I do find that there was a lot of laughter, and for some reason, unintentionally, I did tend to make people laugh, but usually because I'm a bit of a dork, or maybe I'm just like very, very fallible and human. But a lot of laughter came from my mistakes, and my reaction to them. I'm very self-deprecating. And so I just remember being stuck in fits of giggles, usually with Tom, and we'd be laughing about something that I had done. So I can kind of only speak in generals with that, but I had a lot of fun moments with that. And actually, Cassidy Freeman and I would really love for her to come to these, but she's busy with momming and working and stuff like that. We had a few scenes that we shared together, and we have very, very similar ways of thinking, and so we would laugh a lot.
Hi Erica, I'm Jen. I just wanted to say that you coming to Smallville Nights last night was like the best surprise ever. And I just wanted to know, how was it like doing that scene with Tom after like all this time? It's one of my favorite
It was so funny. I had thought I'd forgotten things, but there's so much crammed in there, which may be part of the problem. Like, you think that you dumped a lot of stuff, but there's still, once I read it once and I knew it. Like, I remember doing the scene, I kind of had all these interesting little flashbacks, so for me, it's very nostalgic and sentimental, and it was a great time. And also the energy that you guys give back is wonderful. It's so positive, and you guys are game to try things, and yeah, it was a really good vibe.
It was the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Erica. I'm Kimberly from Florida. I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you very much for your time. We're very grateful that you are sharing all of this with us. But you made a remark yesterday that I thought was utterly hilarious, and I agreed with you in regards to how many times Lois got knocked out, punched, any kind of like accident, you were out cold, and then you were like, well, why don't I have like a limp or a twitch or like anything that would show that character development? But I also thought you were definitely like the sharpest tack on the show, and I'm like, every single time, I'm like, why is she not? Oh yeah, this is totally Clark Kent is, Superman, obviously. So was there ever a point where you said to the producers, like, okay guys, she's figured this out?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, well, no, because you didn't say that's fine. But I think that it was part of the shtick. I mean, we've seen it in a lot of different incarnations of it. She just doesn't know, right? And so I think how I made sense of it was the fact that she didn't want it to be Clark.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
This guy got under her skin, and I think she probably knew in some way this is the person that she really loves, right? And a lot of us, we can speak to certain trauma in our relationships, and a lot of us will avoid the person that you know. That's the person that if they left, I would be done. And so I think she just kept him as far away as she could, and it probably manifested in the fact that she just was like, it's not this person, he's over here.
Yeah.
So that's how I made sense of it.
Okay, that totally makes sense. I appreciate that.
Okay, thanks.
Erica, thank you so much.
I kind of like how you guys are just quiet. It's gentle, it's, it's nice.
Please, no, just kidding.
Get out of here, lady. Stop talking so much.
I have wondered for a while, when you guys returned from Crisis, did you imagine what Clark and Lois's daughters were named?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Good question. No, I didn't think that far.
Thank you so much
That's it. I'm so sorry I didn't get to answer you guys. Hi.